Hi everybody, welcome to Shits in Life. My name is Darren. I'm going to talk about trial helper work today. So for you that don't know, I've been a helper for over 18 years. I started off at club level, worked my way up to regionals, and then also national level. And then I have become a teaching helper too. So in saying that, I have quite a bit of experiences working nationals, regionals. But most of the time I've been a competitor also. And being a competitor and a helper, you can see a lot of differences in the helper work and expectations as a competitor also, that's required as a helper. But originally when we're looking at helper work, we look at every club needs helpers, so every club takes a person under their wing and starts developing their skills in helper work. So, it all starts down from the fundamentals to the helper work, and then all the way up to getting more experience and establishing like good dominance, good pressure on dogs, and confidence. So the requirements, I believe, that to become a good helper, is first thing, it's mindset. Where do you want to go as a helper? What level do you want to be at? And when you get to that level, how good do you want to be? It's if you're gonna be a club helper, there's only so high you're going to be able to go. And, depending on your skill set, you can be just kind of stuck in a certain place and never ever, hone your skills to a better level. But if you have ambitions to become a national level helper, and be fortunate to be picked or selected for a national helper work. So in my opinion, you need to be physically in good shape. You need to have a mindset that if something does go wrong, because we all know nobody's ever perfect 100% of the time. But if you do make a little mistake, or that you keep your head in the game and just put it behind you, and that was that dog, and now you got a new dog coming, and you're going to do better on that one. So I've seen a lot of helpers that get rattled because of mistakes, and that's really unfortunate, because then it starts reflecting out to the rest of the trial. But in saying that, physical condition, mindset, and also ability. You need to have, some helpers have a natural ability to do helper work, and these guys, it doesn't take them very long to get to a high level, to compare to somebody that doesn't have the skill sets or the natural ability. It's kind of like a hockey player. Some people are more natural, and some people, it takes more work to try to get to a good level, and will never ever get to a high level just because of their skill sets. So some people are natural and some people are not. So one of the main jobs of a helper is, you work for the judge. Every judge is different. Rules are interpreted somewhat slightly different sometimes, but basically they're all on the same. So in saying that, you work for the judge, and your job is to test the dog to the best abilities that you have, and give every dog opportunity to make a grip, and treat every dog the same. So, same amount of pressure, no matter, if you have, you don't like a certain person or a club or something like that, it doesn't matter. Your reputation is on the line, and you want to make sure that every dog is treated the same and tested the same, and this makes it even all the way around and fair for everybody. So to me, it's really important that you have to have that kind of mindset of, doesn't matter if you have any opinion about anything else, you do your job and you do it well. So one of the things I look when it comes to for helpers is a natural presence. A helper that looks like, he's strong. He's a little bit more dominating. He's tough. You want to look like, just standing there, like say in a blind, for instance. You need to be passive. You want the dog to come in to initiate and engage on their own into the barking without any help or stimulation from you. So basically just stand there with presence and a blank look, staring over top of the dog's back and not engaging with them, and let the dog come in and show the training or the natural ability and power and aggression and into the blind. And you'll see dogs that that see this in a helper that have always been stimulated. They'll come in and blind, and they'll just sit there and go like, what, like nothing's happening, like, and they get quite confused. So but the dog needs to come in and be naturally aggressive and show power in the barking. So. And also, when it comes down to the escape, which is the next after the blind, you need to have that blind. You need a helper's ability to be able to start fast, make a very clean, crisp movement in the beginning when the judge tells you to go, and have good sleeve presentation, and not shoving the sleeve back into the dog's mouth or anything like that. Just keeping your sleeve solid and no movement, and giving the dog an opportunity to get a grip. So depending on how the angle where the field is laid out to the escape, we all know that sometimes you might have to set your dog up different for your dog to get a good grip, and so. Sleeve presentation is everything. So keeping it solid, don't shove it in there. Let the dog come in naturally on how he's trained to engage in the sleeve. So, but and when it comes down to the lock up, just turn nice and smooth, and lock up with the sleeve up nice and high and straight, and then the dog should out. Keep good solid footing, and so then when the judge tells you to reattack, you make a nice, clean reattack over top of the dog's head. And it's really unfortunate now with the rule changes in the drive that there's no more stick pressure test, but, that's political more than anything. So in my opinion, it takes away from the test what it was designed for, to keep good, solid bred dogs. So. But in saying that, so when the reattack comes, the sleeve should not have moved whatsoever. It should not be shoved in the dog's mouth. The reattack should come, and that little split, the dog should show the power coming into the grip, and then the drive will continue. And good pressure on the drive. When most helpers, when they drive a dog, they need to keep the dog in the pocket, nice and low, keep that sleeve nice and firm, and just apply really good pressure over top of the dog's head, and just like, it's almost kind of like taking a hammer and just wanted to, smack a nail, and just do it as over top, and probably as much pressure as you can over top of the dog. So I heard of some real changes that, in the drive, instead of replacing stick hits, you might do yelling in place of that, but I guess, we'll see how far that goes. But so another lockup, we see the dogs, it's just, we're talking about more of an IGP3, when you lock up, just have that good foundation underneath you, probably like, more of like 75 to 80% on your front leg. So if the dog pulls, and you don't lose your balance. So, but the back transports, I'm skipping over a little bit here with the side transport is pretty normal. Side transport, when you say transport, you just go. You don't worry about the dog. If the dog comes and touches you or comes beside you or crowds you, just keep going, stay on your path, and the judge will tell you to stop if you need to, and if the dog loses control, and the handler can try to get the dog back under control within the commands allowed. So, but then when it comes down to when we get to the long attack, this is the most important part. For helpers, they really, really need to know their skill level. Try not to leave your ego at the door, because this is the most dangerous part of the whole trial, is the long attack. And we have some dogs out there that just come like rockets, and it can really, really rattle a helper, especially helpers that don't have that much experience and seeing very fast dogs. But there's you just have to work in your skill set. If you need to set up a little bit earlier and catch a dog, it's fine. It's especially at a club trial type thing if you're just a new helper. But the best thing is coming in and running through the dog, creating as much pressure as you can, and giving the dog a good target, not throwing the sleeve around or having the sleeve come up last second. And like I said, it's all about giving the dog an opportunity to get a grip. And that's the main thing. So having a good target for the dog, but applying really good pressure. And I've done this where, on dogs, and, coming through the dog and good pressure on them, and they never seen something like that, and they'll just go boom right underneath the sleeve and not even engage. So, and the biggest thing too is keeping that sleeve out in front, and, not turning too quick, because I see a lot of helpers out there, and I see national level helpers do it. They turn too quickly, and then as the dog comes in, they're catching the side of the sleeve, and they're not actually getting a grip. They're actually just bouncing off the side, and instead of having that sleeve out here, and then the dog. So you can actually start moving a little bit, but you can still keep that sleeve, straight as possible, and not turning it until that dog should be on the bite here before you even start to turn. So, no, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but the thing is, it's just like, as a helper, I don't want to screw anybody out of points, and and I would feel bad as a helper if, due to my lack of abilities of being a good helper, I hindered a handler and a dog in the points rating. So I don't want to do that. So, long attacks, this is where you need to really, really practice. And, it's one of those things you need to put a lot of time into, and video yourself, stay in the kitchen and stay online, and not to move too soon, because if you move too soon, you're going to be getting into trouble, and the dog's going to be switching directions. So, but so it's, when we look at helpers, like I said, you got to work in with your abilities and your skill set, and really work to improve. So that's why helper seminars are really good to go to. There's a lot of good teaching helpers out there, and a lot of actually, world-class helpers, national level helpers that you can go see, and get some experience and getting their advice to help you better yourselves. And I've been a helper for a lot of years, but I always still work on my skills and try to even better myself all the time. And I know one thing, it's just like, if you don't, and you let your ego get in there, it's just like you're not going to be anyone that they're going to want to choose. So, but in saying that, it's the helpers, in my opinion, are rock stars of the whole Schutzen IGP IPO world, and they should be treated as gold because they are the people that put the time and effort and their backs and to keep the sport alive. And without them, we wouldn't have this sport. So, every time you get a chance, if you have a helper at a trial, buy him a beer, buy him a pop or whatever he wants. And, and it's the same thing for clubs. The clubs should be treating their helpers like gold, making sure that they are hydrated, got water, and, they're taken care of and treated and appreciated. So, and I've seen a lot of times where in trials that, they're, all they do is get complained on and shit on sometimes when things don't go bad. And we all know that, if a handler doesn't get the scores they did or something happens on a helper, it's not necessarily always the helper's fault. It could be the dog or the training or something like that. So that was the issue, but the helpers are always the first person to get blamed. So, but in saying, that's the life we live, and I've been blamed for dogs coming underneath the sleeve because there's too much pressure on the long attack, and if you go back and look at the videos, the dog lacked commitment, and so that's the way it is. It's we need. In our sport, we need lots of helpers, and we need in our clubs. As far as I'm concerned, the clubs should, be really developing their helpers and sending them, and even paying for a hotel room or something like that to go stay at a seminar if they need to, because especially the young guys up and coming, because these are the guys that we need for the future. So. So what else can I bring up? Like I said, just work underneath the judge. The judge may switch things up and on you through a trial so he can better weigh him, put himself in a better spot for seeing grips and that kind of thing. And for helpers too, it's a lot about field awareness and knowing the directions that you need to be doing your escape, your drives, and your reattacks too. You really need to have really good field awareness. And I try to always, for myself, always have a little peek up, drive that direction. I know where the judge is, and I can make sure that I'm driving to where I'm going to be, because the spot where he's supposed to be to see the grip, he's going to be there, and I need to be there also. So, but if you have any questions or comments or anything like that in helper work, I'll be more than happy to answer. And if you're a new helper, get out there, get to your club, and work hard at it. And for you experienced guys, thank you so much for everything you guys do for helper work. And I've been to nationals many times, regionals, competed at the world championships, and as a handler. And I'm always very, very happy and very privileged, and that my dog comes off the field every single time healthy and injury-free because of good helper work. So for you guys out there that do that for us, we really thank you so much. Okay, question and comments down below, and we'll go from there. Have a good one, guys. Bye.